welcome back to this YouTube channel, and if you're new, welcome to this YouTube channel. So I know it's been a while. I know. I know, but it's all cool. We're cool. We're cool. Okay. Happy 2025. Yes, I know it's in March, towards the end of March, but I still want to say happy 2025. And yeah, I'm just gonna get into today's video, and we're just gonna have a candid conversation. Okay guys, we are going to talk about comparison and how it's a thief of joy. Okay, so on today's video we want to understand the concept of comparison, what it's all about, where it comes from, where it stems from, and how we can overcome it, how we can get over that aspect, because it steals our joy. It steals our joy, to be honest. And it's not necessary. It's an unnecessary part of life, because when you compare yourself to someone else, it's like you are dimming your own light. There's nothing wrong with being inspired through someone else's journey, but there's definitely a big difference between being inspired and comparing yourself, because you negate all the things that you've done in your life, and that's quite unfair to yourself, right? So we also want to understand how we can overcome it and gain confidence in ourselves, in whatever situation we are in, even if it's not the situation that we've wished to be in so far. There's always something to be grateful for, regardless of whether you're looking forward to achieving your dreams, or you are starting out, or you're just trying to figure out yourself and to figure out where you are in life. There's always something to be grateful for and to look back and thank God for, because we wouldn't be here if it weren't for him. So let's get straight into it. So I'll start off with kind of giving an understanding on comparison. So comparison is the situation where you compare two scenarios where one scenario seems to have an upper hand over the other. So oftentimes when we are engaging in comparison, it is how do I put it? It is when we are at the disadvantaged situation. So there are three situations where you could be engaging in comparison. You could be comparing yourself to where you currently are versus where you expected to be in this point in time, or it could be comparing your circumstance to someone else's circumstance, and this other person seems to be flourishing, they seem to be doing well in life. Another situation could be comparing where you currently are to where you used to be. Like, you might feel as if where you used to be is a lot better compared to where you currently are. And yeah, those are the three scenarios that you could engage in comparison. Yeah, so a real life example of when you engage in comparison is, I could be comparing my car to someone else's car, and in the situation, maybe I bought a used car, and this other person, it could be a friend, it could be someone who you know from social media, or just maybe a co-worker, and maybe this other person has a new car, a new model, the latest model that you have been wanting, dreaming about, but you are not in the current situation to afford. buying such a car. So in that situation, you find yourself feeling bad about yourself, especially if you are not someone who is keen on appreciating the little that you have. There's nothing wrong with being inspired through someone else's success journey, but there's definitely something wrong when you start feeling bad, when you start feeling like you're not doing enough in your life. And I feel like, I think if you feel like you're not doing well in life, it better not be well comparing yourself to someone else's life, because you don't know what someone goes through behind closed doors. You don't know how they got to where they are. You don't know what they had to do in order to get what they currently have, and you also don't know how hard they had to work. Like, let's not make it negative. There are people who have had to work extra hard, and instead of being inspired, I feel like it's really unfair when you overlook that part where maybe they had to work years on years in order to get what they want, or they just are at an advantageous situation where maybe they have a trust fund or something of that sort. And there's nothing wrong with that. One thing that I'm learning as a young lady is to appreciate where you are. That doesn't mean that I'm comfortable where I am. It just means that I appreciate my reality. I appreciate where I am, because that allows me to accept where I'm at, and it allows me to look at what I need to do in order to get to where I'm going. You know, it gives me a sense of vision based on how I want to improve my current situation, not based on how someone else's situation is and I want to get to where they are. Because to be honest, you will never, even if you work hard and you get whatever this other person has, or you get a life similar to the one that this other person has, let me tell you the truth, you will get there and you will realize it doesn't feel the same, because you're both different people, and you realize that you have been following a futile goal that was not necessarily from the get-go, and instead of focusing on the plans that God has for you, and also the plans that you have for yourself, and improving yourself each day, getting better and better, you are busy trying to copycat someone else's life, and that's just unfair to you. Okay, so let's try and catch ourselves whenever we are engaging in that comparison, whenever we are looking at someone else and feeling a sense of envy, because at the root level of comparison is a sense of envy, because you are envious of someone else's success, or you are envious of the life you expected to be living in your present situation, and you are also envious of the past life. If you are the kind of person who currently you are going through a harder time than you were in the past, and you keep thinking, I was not doing that badly off in the past as compared to now, but the reality is the past is in the past, and that you're a different version from the past you. So why would you want to go back there instead of trying to make the best out of the current situation? So please catch yourself before it spirals, because comparison starts off with that feeling of I'm not good enough. You know, you start negating your life circumstance. You start trying to feel like you need to catch up with someone else. First of all, how are you catching up? Like, just do your best and try to live life one day at a time, and set goals, have a vision for yourself that you are working towards, dedicate it to God, and also ask God to guide you and to order your steps, because he knows what is best for you. He created you and he understands you, and he knows what is best for you. He sees beyond what you're seeing right now. Okay, this turned into a preaching. So he sees beyond what you're seeing right now, and he has the best plans for you, and he has the grace to sustain you through each situation that you're going through, regardless of how crazy or how wrecking that situation that you're currently undergoing seems to be. But overall, we have the power to catch ourselves when we are engaging in comparison, and to stop it by affirming ourselves, first of all, by engaging in gratitude. Like when you engage in gratitude and you appreciate the far that you've come, and you appreciate the people that you have in your life who have been a blessing, when you appreciate what you currently have, I feel like when you focus on the gratitude aspect in your life, it will shift your soul. It will shift what you're even focusing on. It will shift your perspective, and instead of seeing this person as someone you need to be competing with, you will see this person as a source of inspiration. And you will even, because you have genuine feelings of you're inspired by someone's journey, by someone's success journey, you will, even have the courage to go up to them and ask them, wow, I'm first of all, you give them their flowers, you appreciate them for the far that they've come, and then you go ahead and ask them about how they went about their journey, because from there you understand this person as a human being. This person is not someone that you're trying to compete with. This person is a human being who may have been where you currently are, and they just happened to understand how to go about and navigate that situation that they were in, and come out a lot better, a lot more successful, right? And find the right opportunities that propel them to doing well. So when and as you're talking to this person tells you about their struggles, and I feel like when you hear someone's story from the beginning to the end about how they went about to get to where they currently are, you appreciate them. You appreciate the struggles that they went through, because sometimes we see the end result, the success that someone has gone through, and we think it was easy, we think it was overnight, but that's not always the case, especially if it's someone who had to do it on their own. But on their own, I mean that they didn't have the financial capital from the beginning. Like maybe they had to raise it, or they had to work extra hours in that job in order to get that capital. Like they just had faith. They had faith, they had hope, they had a vision, and they decided to go ahead and execute it. Okay, so remember to appreciate someone else's journey, and that is one of the things that will definitely expel comparison, right? Because we don't want to spiral. We're not out here trying to spiral. We're out here trying to do better by ourselves. We are out here trying to improve ourselves in each season of our lives, right? Yeah. So I also wanted to mention some of the disadvantages that happen to us when we engage in comparison, especially when we are comparing ourselves to someone else. Yeah, so you never get to grow. Because there's always this thing in you that you're trying to outcompete someone else. It's like you're trying to keep up with them, and as I mentioned, in that situation you will never have the wisdom to ask for the guidance from this person, or just for their insight on how they went about their journey and how they got to where they currently are. And it's disadvantageous to you when you are not growing, right? And you're the same year in, year out. You are not trying to improve yourself. You're not trying to discover your own uniqueness, like the hidden unique abilities that you have, because that's something that everyone has. Maybe you have not discovered it, but in discovering what you are uniquely able to do, like confidently, like it just comes naturally, right? It instills that confidence in you, because first of all, it's not like you're trying to get a new skill. The only thing that you would need to do is to improve it and to understand how you can go about creating an opportunity out of it, creating a financial avenue out of it. For instance, if someone is good at singing, or if someone is good at writing, like they're passionate about writing, they're passionate about music, then they can go ahead and find an opportunity to create music, maybe by collaborating with other artists, or even just releasing their own EPs. I understand when it comes to releasing music, it's actually really expensive, so it's a bit challenging when you're starting out, but I believe truly that where there's a will, there's a way. And if you are genuinely, pursuing it, I feel like God will definitely bless you. He will open doors for you. And yeah. So make a point of discovering your own unique abilities and your own unique attributes, your own uniqueness, because that allows you to appreciate yourself. That allows you to see yourself as, someone who is worthy. Also, this other person is successful because they were able to realize their own unique abilities. Maybe they're good in business, and then they went ahead to establish a number of businesses. Maybe that's not your forte, right? And maybe you are good in writing books, so then you go about your way in understanding how to write a book, how to write a successful book, how to understand the publishing process, like all that. And you find inspiring topics, or if you're someone who understands or loves to tell stories, like you could tell stories, right? Because that's something that you're gifted in. And I feel like as you consistently show up in your God-given attributes, unique attributes and unique talents and unique gifts, definitely something will open up, something will definitely create the opportunity that you have been desiring. Yeah. As you pursue these goals, dreams, and aspirations, it's also important to check where your heart is at. Is it for a selfish reason, or are you trying to inspire other people? There's nothing wrong when you're trying to make money out of it, but there is a difference between good ambition and bad ambition. Good ambition could result in you sabotaging yourself, maybe by making a bad book deal or a bad business deal that ends up biting you. That ends up setting you back a lot. So make sure that you understand where your heart is at, like what your intentions are as you're going about pursuing your talents and your goals and your dreams and your aspirations. Because when you are genuine, then God definitely will bless that, right? Because he sees the genuinity in your heart. Like he understands someone who's genuine and someone who's going about it for selfish reasons, for bad ambition. recommendations. So yeah, take care of that. So another downside of engaging in comparison is you are never confident in your own decision making. You will always second guess yourself. You'll always feel like I need to ask all these people. And of course, it's important to seek counsel, seek wise counsel. But it's also important to it's important to pray. It's important to pray and to seek God's guidance in that, if that's something that He wants for you. But when you are never confident in your decision making, you will never have the courage to go ahead and go pursue that dream, that goal. And you will be stuck in analysis paralysis. Okay. And that's just a really bad place to be at. I know when it comes to creating content, especially on YouTube, I have experienced analysis paralysis in the past because I was not confident in my decision, and I didn't know anyone who had, like, I didn't know anyone personally, or a friend or a family member who had ever tried this and succeeded at it. So it was definitely intimidating. It felt overwhelming, and that analysis paralysis kind of kills your dream. It kills your self-confidence, and of course it makes you feel like, as you're comparing yourself to other people who are doing this YouTube thing or content creation in general, then you feel like you are not good enough. But that's not fair. That's not fair to yourself. That's not fair to yourself. So just do it. Just go ahead and do it, as long as it's something that you have prayed on and you have strategically try to understand how to go about it, try to understand the purpose of it. I think when you're constantly showing up, it will, and you have done and you've understood the purpose of why you are doing what you're doing, then it will definitely reflect in the results, and even in the way that you show up confidently. Okay. So another disadvantage is that you'll never attain the same level of success as this other person. You'll never attain that same level because you are two different people. And sometimes, even if you do it the same way as this other person did it, it won't translate the same way. And that's why, as I mentioned, it's important to pursue your own unique path, because then you are not constantly trying to see if you are in the same place as this other person. And wherever you end up, it's actually genuinely something that was meant for you. It's a result that was meant for you. It's a journey that grows you. It's a journey that shapes you. It's a journey that builds your character. It's a journey that challenges you. It's a journey that draws out from you the things that hold you back, and instills within you the necessary skills and characteristics that end up helping you continue to thrive in your life. So that's all I had in regards to comparison. And as I have elaborated on how comparison is a thief of joy, I want all of us to experience joy. And that means we must learn how to not engage in comparison, because it will steal your joy simply because you are constantly trying to compare yourself. And yeah, that's not fair to you. That's not fair to you. I've mentioned this a couple of times. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but it's just to emphasize the importance of catching yourself before you engage in comparison and comparing yourself to someone else's journey. And also seek God in telling him about your comparison experiences, because he understands the human nature. He knows what's behind your heart, and you cannot hide it from him. And the sooner that you express it to him, the sooner that he will help you deal with that situation in a way that allows you to be inspired by other people's journey, and allows you to see this other person as a human being and not someone that you're constantly trying to be in competition with. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. Remember to like, remember to share this video, remember to subscribe, and remember to comment down below. Let me know what you think about comparison and how some of the comparison experiences that you've had in your life have negatively affected your life, and how you are able to overcome those situations. I feel like when we share our overcoming of negative life experiences, it inspires other people who might be going through the same thing, and it reminds us that we are doing the best that we can, and it reminds us to celebrate where we currently at, especially if you have been able to overcome that situation. So thank you so much, and be sure to tune in to the next video, and until next time, bye.